You remember the time, when you go around and you see whether it be your grandparents or, your aunts, your uncles, but the older generation, right? And they would always say, or they would always say to me, boy, come on, sit down. Come on, sit down and talk to me a little bit. Tell me what's going on in your life. Right? And I'd be like, oh, man. Because that was always would turn into like an hour conversation. And you would always feel like, I really don't have time to sit down and talk for an hour, you dig? But those would be the most beautiful and satisfying conversations, right? Because you would always glean something. You'd always learn something from them that you didn't know. Even if it was just like a story about, something about their life or, something, them and their cousins or sisters or somebody else that you knew, they did or they said or they recollect, how the times were. And it just kind of takes you back when you listen to them talk about their life and how things were and the lessons they learned and the things that they went through. Because when we hear those stories now, we'd be like, what? Man, ain't no way. You know what I'm saying? But they dealt with it. They cope with it. And a lot of times they want to find out what's going on with us, so that way they can impart into us and they can share the wisdom that they have, right? But it takes time to glean that wisdom. You got to sit down and spend time. You got to talk. You have to invest, right? It's called relationship. It's not something that's quick, fast, in a hurry. And a lot of times we want things quick, fast, in a hurry because we just don't want to sit down and take the time, especially when it's not something we want to do. Right? Now, if it's something we want to do, we're going to find a time. We're going to make time. We're going to set aside the time, you dig? But when it's something that we don't want to do or we feel like we're being forced to do or coerced to do or something we got to do for someone else's benefit and it's not necessarily for our benefit, a lot of times we don't want to do that thing, right? Unless it's going to be quick, fast, in a hurry. We can get through it, get on with our business and whatever the case is. But everything's not fast. Some things take time. And that's what those older heads be trying to convey to us is, yo, young buck, slow down. Take your time, bruh. It ain't about how fast you get to point B, but it's enjoying the process, enjoying the journey along the way, because you miss so many rich nuggets when you just zoom, 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 zoom. You go here, back and forth, and you're on this time limit, this time set where you got to do this at this time, that time, instead of just taking your time. You dig? I got things to do. I ain't got time to waste. You feel me? Time is money, and money is time, as they say. And I ain't got a whole lot of neither one of them, right? That's what a lot of people say. So I ain't got time to be wasting and ain't got, I don't have it to waste. I got to make the best use of my time because once it's gone, you can't get it back, right? Time is fleeting, as they say, right? Time waits on no man. You know what I'm saying? But the truth and reality is we got nothing but time. Yeah, we have nothing but time, because we can make the time for all the things that we want to do, all the things that have to deal with self, right? Our egos, our pride, making sure that, we looking good, we smelling good because we say it makes us feel good. And there is some truth to that. But yet you make the time for the people that you love. You make the time for the things that you truly want to do. You make the time and you set aside the time for the cost of whatever it may be, whether you got to save up, work an extra job. You're willing to do whatever is necessary to make sure that you are satisfied, you are happy, your joy and your peace is fulfilled. So if you can make the time to do those things, then you can make the time to smell the roses along the journey. You can make time to shake a hand and make a friend. You can take time to find out about someone else's life and someone else's culture and find out about other things outside of our sphere. Because it's not about hurrying up and doing this. And I got to do this like yesterday because I'm my time is constantly depleting. But time is just an illusion. You dig? So since we relegate this illusion by a standard of which we measure time, let's take the time to make sure that we are gathering the nuggets, that we are picking up the little jewels along the way, that we are being watchful of the signs when the Spirit is speaking to us. And when the universe is bringing to us that which we give out, let us be mindful to take the time and enjoy it, right? Because when you enjoy it, you make a memory. When you make a memory, you build an emotional attachment to that memory, which is what stamps that on your heart. But if you're just going back and forth, zipping and zapping, look, man, I ain't got time to talk to you today. You look, hey, sis, I ain't got time today. Yo, I got somewhere to be, man. I'm already running late. You miss out on all the beauty that the Spirit has for you and for me. So let us make best use of our time by using it wisely, enjoying it, taking time to notice the beauty, the splendor, all the things that we have around us at our foot. There's really no place we can't go. And even if you may not be able to get there physically, there's so many things at our fingertips that we can do, that we can go, we can see, we can observe, we can experience, if we take the time. A lot of people want love, and they talk about love, but are you really willing to take the time? Are you willing to put in the shadow work that it takes on yourself to be in position to receive love, right? If you want love in your life, are you loving? Are you walking in love? Do you speak in love? Do you encourage love? Do you really show love by your actions, right? Because you actually put in the time. You go the extra mile. You put in the dividends. You dig? You put in the praying. Whether it's at night, during the day, you know what I'm saying? You do the shadow work to prove that you are not only ready for love, but you are love. You want to give love. You have so much love to give. So if that is our attitude and we take the time to love, not just those that are loving back to us, because even the sinners do that, the word says, right? Even a man that knows how that's an evil person at their core, at their heart, they just think evil, they're evil, their thoughts are evil, their deeds are wicked, and they have kids, but even they know how to give good gifts to their kids. So let's take the time to love. Let's take the time to give love, to speak love, to actually walk it out. You know what I'm saying? Put in the time with somebody. Spend some time and learn about them. You know what I'm saying? Find out what their needs are. Find out what their dreams and goals are. Support them. Help them. You dig? Call them. Check on them. Tell them you was thinking about them and that you love them and that you want to get together with them. If not just to talk, maybe to go have lunch, to go fish, to go see a movie, to go take a walk. You dig? Let's take the time to establish loving relationships through the way that we love, through the way that we walk, through the way that we see things. Because love covers a multitude of sin. So if I see you and I'm not seeing you in any other way but love, then maybe before I judge, before I point fingers like this, I need to look at the three and the thumb that's pointing back at me, right? And say, no, fix your lenses, clean your love lenses so you can see a person and you can see the love that they need. You can see the love that is going to help, it's going to heal, it's going to motivate, it's going to inspire, it's going to lift up, it's going to create, instead of seeing them outside of love. That's how we bring love to us. But we got to take the time to do that. Wisdom is a beautiful thing, right? Right? Wisdom is the thing that we should want. It ought to be the thing that we strive to get, right? Because she's beautiful. She's all-knowing. She's anointed. So wisdom is the primary goal. Wisdom is the thing that we should want. So in Hebrews 12:1, it talks about such a great a cloud of witnesses that we have because of their wisdom, and we should want to glean from their wisdom. Let's read the scripture. So the scripture reads, wherefore, seeing that we are surrounded by such a great cloud of witnesses, right? And we are, because we have those that have gone before us. We have those that have left insightful, encouraging admonishment, right? Advice, words that we can live by and govern our lives by. We have their lives as an account. We even have those that have gone on that were close to us, that yet still watch over us, and we can still look at their lifestyle and look at the things that they did and the things that they accomplished, and how their wisdom, right, the testimony of their life becomes a witness to those that see them, know them, love them. And so when you think about those men and women that lived such extraordinary lives, and then at the time of Christ, and those apostles, and then everyone that came after them that believed, that looked at their witness, looked at their life, and were strengthened and encouraged because of it, behind of it, the sacrifices they made. That is the great cloud of witness that we have to glean from and lean upon. You dig? Let us lay aside every weight and sin. Two separate things, but let us lay them aside. Every weight and every sin that doeth easily beset us, that'll get us off track, that'll cause us to become distracted, that'll have us lose focus, right? That'll draw our attention away, right? Let us lay aside those things, every weight and sin that gets you off track, that takes your focus off God, that causes you not to love, but to walk in anger and hatred and disrespect and not honoring and not being kind and not being humble. Let's lay aside those things, right? That those so easily beset us. And let's run this race, right? With patience that's set before us. See, we got to run this race not trying to be the first one to the finish line, because there is no first to the finish line. You run the race according to the spirit and you that you have set. God has set a course for you. He set a course for me. And I can't try to beat you there, because my course may take me a total different way and path than the course that the Spirit has taken for you. But whatever that path is, don't be in such a hurry to get there. Take your time. Glean from the people around you. Learn from things that have happened from people that are in the past, when they're trying to say, hey, come sit down and talk to me. Come take some time. Let me find out what's going on with you. Let us not be so standoffish and not want to share our experience with our elders and those that have the wisdom that we really do need. Let's take the time to pick up the nuggets and pick up the jewels and not be in such a hurry. Where we're going is going to be there when we get there. But the things that we pass along the way because we missed them, because we were only focused on where we were going, are the very keys and jewels that we need to the questions that we have. Take the time. You'll get there in time, but take your time. You dig? Yo, this is your man, Levon. Just want to come on real quick, man, and hit y'all with that word that God gave me. It's been a minute, but I will be back with some more videos. Please make sure that you check out the other videos on the channel, right? Please remember Lamella E, love, uplift, motivate, inspire, learn, laugh, encourage, and enlighten. And make sure you hit that like button and subscribe button. Doesn't cost you a thing to do that, right? Also, turn on that bell notification so you're always notified whenever I upload content. This is your man, Levon. I'm out. One love.